Hi, good evening, everyone. So, welcome to the session, and I'm very glad to see the interest of the people. Even from all your busy schedule, I think you have taken time to ensure that a lot of people, the dream preschool, the opening of the preschool, what decision to take, what not to take, all these ideas we will be sharing. I would also like to give my insight, the kind of experience, what I have gathered throughout my journey, but how do the people decide and what could be the right option. So we're having a very general discussion, and throughout the session, if you have any kind of questions and answers you require, just the Q&A box is there. You can put all your questions there. Even some questions I would like to take after the session, and some questions will be definitely, if it is unanswered, we will come back to you for a one-on-one session to clarify and take you through the journey well. So as I have got all the response that yes, I'm audible and hopefully I'm visible also to you all. And now I would be starting. So preschool ownership is basically the kind of interest we get. It's a kind of entrepreneurship. Lots of people comes that not able to decide when they start. It starts, my session actually starts with the note from the day one when a people think the thought process starts, how to start a preschool. What are the kind of thought process comes practically, and how do you consider that what would be the right option for you? I would like to give you some insight on those part. It exactly starts when we start searching on the web or somewhere, what would be the right option? How people start? What kind of basically support do I get from the people? What kind of support I have to basically do it by my own? A lot of questions comes at the beginning when the people start deciding. So my session is all about that. Preschool, entrepreneurship, or the ownership, whether the franchisee would be a good option, or as an entrepreneur, I would like to have something of my own. This is a question always comes to the mind when people start deciding. Sure. So clearly, I think my slide is visible to you all. Preschool, ownership, entrepreneurship, to franchise or not to franchise, evaluating your options. Sure. Now let me move it to the next one. So today's agenda, I'll give you an overview that, okay, what do you mean by franchising and what kind of things we should think about, and what do you mean by non-franchising solution? Some factors that, okay, which will really make your school successful, pros and cons of the model, and even I will be taking you to that, okay, the benefits, everything, what are the benefits we get here, what are the benefits we get into the other option, and how basically our things solves your problems, summary. And today we would actually take a live case study of a person who have already decided at that beginning what kind of thought process came into their mind. Preschool owner we will be joining, actually we will be inviting into the session, and she would be also sharing her details and understanding why did she choose a non-franchising option to start and how successful as a person she is. We would be introducing her also into the session. So please be with us. We'll be having a lot of great answers, great questions we'll be getting and we'll be discussing throughout the session. Now let us go ahead with my first thing. Like, what do we mean by franchisee? Because it's basically like a standardized. When we talk about franchisee, it's a standardized solution, what we want to offer everywhere, right? It's a kind of brand. People actually goes by brand for purchasing lot of, and non-franchisee means here the thing is that, okay, you don't have to take anybody's name. You would be creating something of your own. So as an entrepreneur, sometimes it comes to the mind, why I would be following somebody else's journey. Let me create something of my own. And I would be putting all my thoughts into it and make sure that, okay, this becomes a brand in my area. So now, before going ahead, we have to also understand, really, I also believe when I go personally to purchase any kind of watch, I would be going for Titan or some brand. If I go for ordering pizza or something, I would be going for basically Domino's or Pizza Hut. What I get here, or else Samsung in terms of Peter England, all this commodity brand, when we franchise, one thing is assured in all these factors is assured is basically the uniformity everywhere. Now I purchase whether in Bangalore, whether in Mumbai, whether in any part of the country, let's say Delhi or like Chennai, I would be getting same quality, whether Sony television will be same quality, same rate over everywhere. That's a kind of uniformity or the standardized things they have created. But when we talk about the preschool, what we are talking about, the preschool. So we have to understand it is not a commoditized one. It's not a commodity. So even under any franchisee, we have seen that, okay, even two of their similar name centers under the same brand name does not run similarly. A lot of times we have seen that people are basically goes by that center. When they visit, they see the ambience, they see the person, they interact, then they understand what kind of offerings they are getting from there. So lots of things depends on that particular owner who is running the show. Definitely when we talk about commodity brand, so what kind of business can be franchised where we really see a very standardized, there is no difference in terms of quality, the uniformity has been maintained into everywhere. But here my mind gets always stuck that, okay, when we talk about service industry, when we talk about preschool as a business as a whole, we find it depends on the owner. Lot of things, the way you come across, the way you do the celebration, everything together. When we provide a solution, the owner becomes a brand in that area. So these are some of the factors always. And non-franchisee, definitely you are not getting that brand name at that beginning. But when we consider preschool, it's a very neighborhood business, because when we try to open a kind of Titan or any other branded center, the kind of brand presence we require, really any person, for any individual, it is very difficult to start something like that of their own. But preschool as a business, when we think, we can start and we can become a brand in that neighborhood area. And it takes hardly a time. And we have a huge success stories. Definitely we'll be calling someone today, but we are having across India so many success stories where all our customers are like competing with any branded centers. They are doing excellent job and they became a brand. When we talk to the other people in the same area, we find that, yes, we know your school. This school, is this run by you? Yes. So they find it so useful, those people becomes a brand in those areas. So franchisee, you would be definitely having that franchisee fees, the royalty. So when we tell in this business, considering preschool, when we talk, the place will be your, money will be your, the kind of effort, because definitely a brand can help you for the first 10 walk-ins to your center. But conversion, it depends on you. So you do all the hard work to set up the environment, to make sure that they feel comfortable when they talk to you. You develop all your things to convert those admissions. And after that, so sometimes it becomes paying a royalty becomes a challenge. That after doing all this work, why I have to share my revenue with somebody else, right? So non-franchisee as an option, definitely you don't have to pay. But yeah, that first 10 walk-ins will be a bit of challenge. But we have found with maximum of our centers doing a minimum marketing, doing a minimum, because our people have helped more than 3,500 edupreneurs to set up their school. We have found easily people get 10 walk-ins into that area initially. And in that case, if you really deliver the best solution, you basically get 7 to 8 admissions out of that. So great. Let me move it to the next one. I can find a lot of you are putting into the chat box your queries, your details. I would be always happy if you keep on putting all those things, because that will be for us, our record. I would be definitely, our people will be getting in touch with you to answer all your queries. So please, I would expect anybody having any questions in the meet, you please come across and put those things into the Q&A box. Now, if I talk about that, okay, what are basically the factors when I want to start a good preschool? So this is something that, okay, safe and stimulating environment means which will make people feel appeal. It will appeal to the people. Yes, wow, what a kind of place. The safety, hygiene, security, everything has been maintained properly. And by going into the environment, you should have a feel-good factor into that environment, the way you create. So in that case, you first yourself should be very convinced that, okay, the kind of environment I have created, I am so convinced. And with the guidance of any expert, when they give the guidance that, okay, this is the way you create and it will look good. So the experienced people who are into this field will be able to give you how you can create a stimulating, awesome environment where whenever the parents step in, they will be having a feel-good factor. And safety and hygiene, we cannot avoid at any cost. Any center to create, that's a given. Means we cannot really go away from there. When we have a beautiful environment, now you need trained staff. So in these cases, if you definitely require somebody who are experienced, who can help you, what kind of people you should recruit, and how do you train those people so to deliver the best education to the children. So this part, this is your requirement. Safe and stimulating environment is your requirement. For all those things, you require a person who would be basically helping in those parts with their experience. Learning approach, definitely, because in the center, it is so important nowadays. Even Indian government have also come up with the learning approach. They have created NCF, National Curriculum Framework. They have created new education policy. So definitely learning approach is important. Maybe it's little late, but great. Government have taken an excellent initiative to create an excellent learning framework. So that approach where we talk about nowadays activity-based learning means children learns through activities. So you basically require a learning approach which enable activity-based learning in true sense. Even in our country, there are a lot of myth or like a kind of thought process is there. Activity-based learning means showing some activities to the children. But in true sense, actually activity-based learning means where your child get a chance to work, make mistakes, do with that. So whatever the learning approach you are choosing, you should choose where the children gets an opportunity to work, make mistakes and learn. Because in our whole life, if we see at our life, we have never learned without making mistake. So when we make mistake, when we use our hand, when we do those things, we learn it better. Cycling, or like you talk about cooking, anything. So all the learning approach, when you are choosing, you should choose approach which really in true sense should be an activity-based learning. Government is also talking about that. Then a structured curriculum, definitely the method, the learning approach, what we take, great. Now the curriculum talks about whole, as a whole, what exactly we are delivering to the parents, right? What they are going to get from your school with whole framework, your timetable, how your basically teachers are trained, how they are delivering, how you know your timetable, how basically all your things, whatever you feel is good for the child to contribute. The basic thing, basic learning, foundation learning is excellent. Apart from that, extracurricular, all together what we deliver from the school is called your curriculum. So that curriculum is definitely very important for you to consider. Now the next point I would be telling that, okay, what the emphasis on the, means any curriculum you choose, you should give the emphasis on the social skills, right? Social skills means in the pandemic, we have seen so many affluent parents have given a lot of things to the children at home. But we have to understand learning is a social process. So it should happen. The school is the best where we get a chance to get a teamwork, where they learn from the others. The social skill develops from there. So any curriculum, any approach you are finding, that should definitely have emphasis on the social skill, the sharing, caring, learning from others should be there, because that accelerates the learning. And then the technology nowadays, because we know very well that, okay, if we don't also, if we tell how much ever that, okay, technology is not, but the children are nowadays completely surrounded by the technology at their home, at their place where they are going. So we cannot avoid that. Anything you should choose, it should not be where there is a restriction, where we can give emphasis that the child should not be exposed only to YouTube or anything. Maybe we can give some technology in what form that is related to their learning, but interesting, but gamified version, right? So all these things you should definitely consider when you are thinking that these are the things I want to make sure when I am opening the preschool. There are other factors, but these are the major factors you should look when you are starting the preschool, right? Now let me go that, okay, a franchisee pros and cons. What we try to tell that, okay, definitely you are getting an established brand and the support. It's been proven. Reduced risk when we talk about the franchisee as a brand. Yeah, it reduced risk because somebody have already prepared these things. And great, means we talk about economies to scale, but somewhere we get a hit on that when we talk that, okay, we have to share the revenue. But yeah, marketing and advertising support you would be getting. Any brand you take, you would be getting their robust branding. So you should look, when you are choosing a franchisee, definitely you should look how far any person is coming across. And is this the thing? Can I get without paying my portion? The cons is definitely we talk about that initial investment goes a bit high. You don't have your own independence to implement anything into that. And end of the day, you are basically promoting by putting your effort, somebody else's name. And sometimes it also happens that, okay, a market saturates for that brand. So there are advantages. And when we talk about the non-franchisee, pros is that, okay, if you get somebody in the non-franchising segment who is already established and really developed that kind of schools into every area, that also, yeah, it reduces risk because your initial investment goes very low. Economy to scale is higher. Marketing and advertising, you maybe on a shared, you would be spending much less. And in a non-franchisee also nowadays, you get the people who have a very standardized operation, along with they give a independence to your thought process also. So when we talk about, it is actually, so before going into these things, I definitely want to talk about the previous, when we consider now, if as a normal person, when we are thinking franchisee as an option, and we get the similar kind of support or similar kind of established one player who are really have proven their track record, all these pros, if we get into any non-franchising brand, definitely it gives you independence, you create your brand, and you get a support from somebody who is established into this field very well, right? So edupreneurs, entrepreneur, when you are thinking, you will always have a thought that, okay, how do I, entrepreneurs are something that, means they actually like to take risk. Entrepreneurs will be having a mission that I would be doing something. That's a kind of entrepreneurship mentality. You will be always having, I would be creating something of my own. Why to take somebody else's reputation and create that? Tomorrow, if I create, I would be enjoying everything and I can put my thoughts, whatever we have, and I have a mission that I can create. Maybe today we will be having in our session at the end, one person who have started in that way and really became a brand in their own area, and people's appreciation, where maybe that kind of independence she would not ever got if she would have taken some standardized operation system, which does not allow your independence, your thought process, and your innovation to come into the place. So entrepreneurs, always you will be finding they always have a mission and vision to create. Why am I starting? They will be always very passionate. So those people definitely like to create something of their own. Yes, when we have discussed with a lot of people in the past who have come from starting with another brand and started with us later, leaving that. When we started talking to them, we have understood initially, although they had an entrepreneurship mentality, they did not find any better option at that point of time who really gives those kind of support what they require initially. Now, there are people, and like us, definitely there are people who gives a very proven track record support much better learning outcome, excellent thing, because with that learning outcome, your center becomes successful. So those things we have always considered and made lot of entrepreneurs taking their decision that, yes, I want to create something of my own. I would like to put my thought process into it. So those things are always an advantage, and a lot of entrepreneurs have become multiple centers across the country and definitely impacted excellent learning outcome to so many schools, right? So now, when we talk about, yes, we talk about any non-franchisee, a good solution provider will talk about learning outcome, because the school stands for the children, their learning outcome, which basically makes sure that the parents are happy seeing their children doing that, and that creates a strong word of mouth into those areas. And that word of mouth basically makes sure your future journey is secured. Because it completely depends, whatever you take, it completely depends first in admissions, what you are doing with them. If people come to the school, yeah, definitely safety, hygiene, security, that's given. On top of that, what is the requirement? I want my child should be ready. I want my child should be performing well. And these are the kind of things, and as well as your values and things, when it is good for the children, how do you transform? And as a whole, when you, with your independence, you give a better solution for that child, parents like it. And that brings your word of mouth into the place, and that makes you a successful entrepreneur. So at the end, I would be telling, yes, nowadays people are getting, as we have already established, into each and every nook and corner of India. People are basically getting the support of Kreedo, that powered by Kreedo names are helping them. So many success stories we are getting. Yes, people came and told, yes, I have seen your learning outcome. Your parents are happy. They have put a lot of remarks on your things that, okay, they are so happy sending their child into the school. And now you would be getting, without paying any royalty, without paying any franchisee fees, you get the name of Kreedos, what we have created over a period of time, helping 3,500 plus schools across India. So that would be always an added advantage. And in franchisee, definitely the marketing, you get support, but sometimes it comes with your cost and the kind of cost you give. After that, you feel it's not worth, I would have got that 10 admissions easily sometime without even that marketing support. And it is so neighborhood business. Within, initially when you start, only within 3 to 4 kilometer radius, people comes to your school. Within 3 kilometer radius, if you are starting into an area where a lot of schools are there, even without doing any marketing, you get the word of mouth publicity by the people. And let's say you do nowadays social media, the way we help our people, initially that 15 to 20 walk-ins, anybody comes to us within 2 to 3 months that yes, we have got. And as the entrepreneurs get a lot of confidence because it is their own brand building, they get a lot of confidence, they get a lot of mind space to think and deliver the best solution possible to the parents. And they get the 70 to 80% is the conversion ratio. When 10 walk-in happens into our school, 65 to 70, initially it starts with 55 to 60, then it goes up to 70 with the another 10 walk-ins. So gradually it increases because people start finding the value in terms of their child's learning and the word of mouth starts spreading. So yes, giving now means yes, you get no collaterals has to be designed by you. You don't have to run behind anywhere. That's a support you get from a franchisee, that you get a established name and those templates, everything will be shared with you in your bucket. Now, even there are a lot of solution provider like us also. Even our solution gives you the opportunity to create your brand. Means our support starts from giving you the name, suggestion, logo, everything. And we create here, maybe we take a lot of pride in creating your brand. So far, I feel the communication helped you to understand when I decide what are the factors, definitely those support you require. But if you are getting those all support from the person without without making a revenue share, without paying the franchisee fees, without paying the renewal fees after some point of time, and when you feel all my effort pays to me, that gives you the mind space to think about one, and the ROI, the return on investment, comes so fast. With 30 to 40 students, you basically start getting your break-even point. And it's been so proven. We have seen our people coming up after 30 to 35 students, always they will be having an interest of opening another center. And we all can understand, definitely a person will never open a second center if they are not successful into the first one, right? So these are very practical thought process we should keep in our mind when we are deciding what could be a right option when we are thinking of opening our preschool, our dream preschool. Sure. So now comes that, okay, in your mind, definitely this comes that, okay, it is your place, as I have told. It is your money, your effort. Why do I pay only for first 10 walk-ins? Why do I pay a royalty to somebody else of my revenue? So sometimes the things comes into the mind that, okay, yeah, again, I'm going back so that you can relate. Samsung, I find that, okay, that kind of brand awareness and all, what kind of money is required. And that's a whole market presence you require in that. For an edupreneur at the initial stage, for a lot of people, it's very impossible to create as an organization, they can create that brand awareness. But for your school, only within 3-kilometer radius, I think you can create your brand name and you can become a brand into that area. If you have to do all these things, you should do it. Now, sometimes the thought process comes that, okay, if any brand is so confident, why the sharing is on revenue? Why the sharing is not on the profit? So these are always, I'm just not giving answer. I'm just putting this question for you to answer that in your mind. Why from revenue? What those person who are giving a standardized brand to me, what that person lose if I don't do good? So in that case, it needs to think if it is on the risk or else the sharing, everything is on me. And so I just need a proper support who will be helping me on this part to the best and delivers the best learning outcome for what the person is coming to my school. And if I'm able to find out that partner who gives this kind of support and really gives me that mind space to think and go ahead, then why to go for this particular preschool sector? So this is something that, okay, definitely I'm trying to make it a point. Now, any questions on these things, definitely put into the Q&A box. Any questions you have, how do you decide? What are the kind of challenges you face when you decide on these things? I would definitely take it as a case study and try to talk to you to ensure that you get the best insight that what is right for me, right? So now, next, again, as I have already told, you have to understand education is not a commodity. So principally, when we thought of doing it, principally, we believed that education is not a commodity, and we felt that always edupreneurs comes across with the interest. Yes, I want to start, but problem is that, okay, I don't get this kind of support. And that's hence franchisee is my option. We always try to come up with that solution with the highest level of learning outcome that yes, we are available, and we made thousands of success stories in across India. We found an interest from extreme northeast corner. We found interest from Ladakh. We found interest from Kathiawar, Kutch area of Gujarat, and we found interest from the Kanyakumari. So across India, there are a lot of edupreneurs who comes across, yes, I want to start. I want to give the best education to the children. I didn't find a good school into my area, and that becomes a best part when we talk about. So now, why Kreedo? Because all the cons in a non-franchising, whatever you found, that this kind of support we don't get, this kind of standardized, best learning outcome, proven learning outcome track record we don't get. We don't get somebody will be creating a timetable and making sure that, okay, we would be having everything on plate to just run the show. So all these cons, I think when we talk about Kreedo, we have been able to overcome, and we have been able to find out those problem statement and the pain point of lot of edupreneurs, and been solving for years and years, decades. So definitely you can think. So this is something what the competitive statement on my things, you can understand that, okay, when we talk about royalty in the self-owned, it is not there. It's a huge portion. So any business when you run, 25 to 30% margin people run the business. And that's a very good margin. Actually, any business runs with that kind of margin, 25 to 30% of margin. Understand, if you have to doing all the work, if you have to shell out 15% to somebody else, so basically this is the portion of your profit, what you are sharing with someone else by doing all your work, right? It gives pain. So definitely franchisee, the franchisee fees, the competitive statement. When we talk about a structured and well-researched, when we talk about, yes, in Kreedo, you get that. Self-owned, sometime that structured, well-researched, because a person who is running the school does not get time to structurize or update their curriculum. So self-owned, this thing always becomes an issue. I don't get time to sit and work on my curriculum. So when you have a partner like Kreedo, who is there to ensure this kind of structured and well-researched curriculum has been taken care, I think people gets a lot of happiness and a lot of mind space. Yes, great. I have got some solution which understands my problem, and there is a solution for that. So these are, which is teacher-centric. Sometimes it becomes teacher shows and all. I told you, activity-based learning. When we talk about activity-based learning, it should be child should doing the activities. Child should be doing the activities. So always we find child-centric curriculum works better. So these are the kind of hand-holding on the training part, continuous learning. Sometimes you feel these are the gap when I start my own school. But if you find a partner who does not take royalty, does not take your franchisee fees, but gives all this support to the highest standard, as an edupreneur, I feel, wow, I am creating something of my own and getting some partner who would be always empowering me or updating me as per the industry standard on the highest level. So these are some of the things. Now, actually, the things what you were waiting, I wanted to talk something about her. So 10 years back, she started her journey with a lot of passion and getting into everything, whatever is needed to run a good school, whether in terms of training, whether in terms of understanding, whether in terms of anything what we are talking, taking every input and really kind of passion she had at the beginning that, yes, I want to create something of my own. And 10 years back, maybe that there was a vision. So always I talk, a successful entrepreneur will be having a mission and a vision. That makes a difference from an entrepreneur and a businessman. So an entrepreneur definitely makes business on their way, but the mission and vision makes them different. She had a vision at the beginning that, yes, something I want to create of my own. I have a lot of my interest, and she gone everywhere to gather any knowledge possible for preschool to open. 10 years back, she started with one. Today, even the special child parents also appreciates her that, yes, my child also have got benefit. She is with so many students. Definitely, I don't want to talk much about her. I would be actually inviting Dr. Jyoti Baurikar into this session. And definitely, I would like that, okay, she would be sharing her experience from the beginning that, okay, why she thought in that way. Maybe for you all, that would be one of the great insight to think upon, right? That will be giving you great insight why I should choose what option. So Jyoti ma'am, I would actually like to invite, thank you for coming and giving your time in this session. I would actually like that, okay, you to share your experience with all the people who are into this session, taking their time. Most probably it will be great help of them to decide what way to move. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Pradipta, for inviting me. And yes, it has been a long journey. 11 years we have completed. And the reason why we chose, or why I wanted to go without a franchisee, was I wanted to create my own brand. अगर मैं franchisee लेती तो किसी और का नाम भी साथ में आता, correct? So that was the reason I wanted to go with my own brand. I had my own ideas, but again, I was very new to the system. So I took Kreedo's help. And the point of training they gave, the hand holding they help us with everything, right from marketing to training to admissions. Many things are there which they help us step by step. For example, if I have to procure some Montessori materials, I know that I just have to call Kreedo. It is one call away and I can get all the materials in the space, correct? Again, then training part again, there are teachers who are there. So there are different centers which I'm having. So if I have to train my teachers, I don't have to sit and, train them. One call away, and the training part is also taken care by. If I have to create a new creative for anything, for my branding, for my marketing, for so many festival creatives, again, I have support. So this support has been there with me from last 11 years. And without their support, I would not have opened 3 different branches for the Montessori which I'm running. So there are 2 branches of Udan Montessori. One branch we have opened is for special needs children. Again, with their support, I was able to, have this vision and mission of opening a special needs school, or maybe opening different branches. Just imagine the amount of royalty I would have given for 250 children. Our hard-earned money, correct? So I have the facility of independent thinking, independently working, the working hours, the location of my second and third school. Everything is done by us. I don't have to, if it would have been a franchisee school, I had to take so many permissions, so many rules and regulations. But here I am the boss. I take my own decision, and I have my team, my Kreedo team. I know who will be always there to help me out. So these are the few things which have always worked for me. So would request everybody to take that wise decision. Call other owners of Kreedo who have taken these help. Talk to them, have a free hand conversation with them, and then decide for a franchisee or a non-franchising mode. So this is what this was my journey of 12 years working with Kreedo team.
So definitely wanted to
anybody would like to ask.
Definitely wanted to tell it's been a long journey. I also relish all the memories, what we used to discuss. For anything, I have seen your interest, and I can really means every time I have seen never a low energy on anything when it comes to your school development. Means that I would be basically the long interaction whenever we had comes with such an energy which motivates even us. So great, I think for the edupreneurs or the entrepreneurs, this comes so naturally that, okay, they are filled with that kind of thought process or the energy from the beginning. When you are creating something of your own in this world, you are putting your impression. To a lot of parents, you are basically taking your thought process to them. So great journey with you, ma'am. And I think you started with a very small premises and now going to a bigger premises, as well as you have gone into number of centers also. So length and breadth, you have basically expanded. So great thought. And please, any message, ma'am, from your side you wanted to give, because you have a huge experience into this field, for all our people who have come into this session?
So as and when you decide for opening a school, from the bottom of your heart, you should be passionate on that part. First is passion. Second is you should be ready to work, to put in your long hours. Unless until you put in your long hours, nothing will happen. You have to think, wait, have lot of patience. No, these parents who will be coming for inquiries, they'll be going to 10 different schools, and then they will be coming to you. Correct? So they will be doing their homework. So similarly, even we have to do our homework. Why we as a Kreedo school are different? We have materials, we have technology, we have so many apps. The Kreedo 60 app is one of the best apps for teacher. Anything and everything, even if my teacher is busy during school hours, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whenever she is free, she can open the app and learn. So learning should be continuous. So I'm very happy that I took Kreedo 11 years back, and many more branches for me to go with their help.
Absolutely. All the best wishes for upcoming journey. And I know that, okay, means from the beginning only we knew that, okay, you would be making the difference here. So great journey along with you also from the Kreedo team also. We are also very happy to work with you, and we would definitely want, means lot many success stories should come on your way, and we would be definitely want to be a part of that also.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jyoti ma'am, for coming into this session and sharing all your valuable inputs. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome. So for all the people who have actually heard her, really we know we really share a great rapport because it's an 11 years journey. And I would like to tell that, okay, these are some of the things always, she told, passion comes automatically when you have something new to create for your own. It comes automatically. It does not come when I'm creating somebody of others, something, I'm promoting somebody other's things, right? So this is a basic quality of any, edupreneurs. So I would like to take, so this is basically that business framework, what we will be helping you out with, place, price, product, promotion, how did you do it? And the learning framework, Kreedo would be helping you with the toys, means like your entire environment, how to create, how it is so different from any other school you can compete with, any Tom, Dick, Harry, any names established into your area. So with that kind of environment, the stimulating environment, here we come. When we talk about an environment, the people come and see the children just by playing, they learn continents, they learn solar system, they learn addition, multiplication into our environment, which they have not gone and seen into any other school. I would definitely like to share one success story. Actually here, another, just in verbally. It's a very recent one. That's why it came into my mind. I thought that, okay, in this occasion, I would be sharing. One person just called us a center. Basically, she just started the center 20 days back. She got some 8 admissions. Now the 9th admission inquiry, when it came to the center, so they were having an early bird offer running into that center. Now, when they told the fee structure was almost at around 40K, and maybe they were giving 5K discount on that. So when they offered, madam, you are the 9th one and only another more seat will be available for the availing this discount and you can join hands with us. The parents who came for the inquiry told, I actually want to pay the entire amount of yours. She told, no, ma'am, already early bird is going on. You can avail this discount. The parents told, no, because I have visited 8 another schools into this locality. I did not find this kind of environment anywhere which really helpful for my child. So if you really want to see that kind of environment, I would definitely tell you, please fix a demo with our people. They will be showing that environment, how it is so stimulating for the parents to look at, why they will be feeling so energetic to look at. So this is an excellent insight that parents, even after offering discount, she denied and told I would be paying because I feel that 5,000 is not important. My future of my child is important and this is the safest place for my child and the best place for learning. So this kind of things, it makes us also sometimes proud along with that person. So along with our customer, that really we are able to give the best learning outcome, best environment possible for the child to take away from our center. So in terms of books, the timetable creation or setting up your training and recruiting your teacher and giving the perfect technology which helps your teachers and the children enable with the learning, and how did you do the teamwork? Everything you get on a one platform. I would definitely expect somebody else also in this country should create something like which will really make something sensible learning for the parents to take away from any center. So this is the thing. And definitely, I want to thank you for having patience throughout my session. I would really appreciate if you really want to fix up a demo with any of our person. We would be sharing a link here. You can fix up for your demo for tomorrow itself, any convenient time that I want to see the environment. I want to see how the things, if any questions you have, you would be basically sharing. And I hope this session would have been helpful for you, that the line of thoughts, how to basically decide. I hope I have been able to contribute to make sure in your school opening, we would also be able to contribute the thought process. You can join hands. You can definitely talk to our expert one-on-one demo. We'll be sharing the link. Please fix up your time and our people will come back and talk to you and finalize that, okay, how do you go through this journey in a much smoother way. And we would like to see a lot of edupreneurs coming in the future and making their successful impression in their locality as the best solution or the education provider. Thank you all. And it's been amazing to hear from you. We have got questions and answers. We are almost at the end of this session. So definitely we would come back to you very shortly by tomorrow on one-on-one discussion, the people who have fixed the demo timing, and we would show you the environment, whatever we discussed, we will show you those part also, that books, how it is mapped, aligned, and helps the customer to be successful. Thank you all.